Alexa, open Zichron Yaakov City Guide.
Hello from Zichron Yaakov. How can I help you today?
Play the latest podcast.
Listen to podcast number 2, the Stand With Us Live Tours, with Yoni Zerler and Zichron Yaakov.
We're actually coming to you this week live from up north, from the Carmel region, and we are in beautiful, picturesque Zichron Yaakov. Zichron Yaakov is really the story of this town, is the story of the beginning of Zionism, or I would say one of the pioneering movements of Zionism here in what would become the state of Israel. And what I mean by that is the fact that in 1882, a bunch of Jews facing anti-Semitism and persecution in Eastern Europe decide that they are going to make their way back home. They're going to make their way back to their ancestral homeland of Israel. And they get on a boat, Ottoman era, what's called then Ottoman era Palestine, and they make their way to Israel and begin creating a new life for themselves. And they're not going to face, they're going to face no small amount of challenges as they leave behind everything that they knew and embark on an agricultural adventure. Specifically here in Zichron Yaakov, the town, or the Moshava as it's called, the agricultural town, is going to be founded by families from Romania. Families like the family that actually lived in the house over here, the Aronson family. The Aronson parents, the senior Aronsons, came over here in 1882 and were a part of the efforts to build basically a new agricultural land, to live off of the land. The problem is that they're coming from Eastern Europe and they have no experience as farmers. They're also buying the land that's readily available, and oftentimes the land that they're getting, not always the best land. Obviously, the best land is already being worked. They're taking what they can get, and they're trying to make a run with it. And it actually creates a situation that's less than successful, to say the least. We'll talk about how that changes in a little bit, but I want to stop here at the Aronsons' house because as famous, as incredible as the parents were, I'd say the people who really make the Aronsons a well-known family are the children of the Aronsons. And we're looking here, and you'll see this throughout all of Zichron, you'll see this wheat motif everywhere we walk. If we're talking about agriculture, we're talking about Zichron Yaakov, we have to talk about Aaron Aronson, who, the son of this Aronson family, was a gifted student sent off to study agriculture, and his great discovery is discovering what's called original wheat. He basically discovers the original strain of wheat from which all of the other wheats of the world came from, like ancient wheat. That's why over here what we're going to see is basically the unofficial family crest, wheat, and you're going to see that throughout the entire city.